Daphne and Velma, who's hotter? A question that seems to have no clear answer. Each of them is attractive in her own way, and that's the beauty of it. Daphne is style, grace, and confidence that makes heads turn as she walks by. Velma is intelligence, charming clumsiness, and that spark that ignites interest in the most unexpected moments. Some might say Daphne is the ideal, while others would argue that Velma is the real deal. And what do I think? Well, that's a whole other story. But before I share my opinion, let's do this. Write in the comments who you think is hotter, Daphne or Velma. And I'll start the story, which might just make you see both of them in a new light. Because as you'll soon realize, it's not as simple as it seems at first glance. I always thought that hotness was something simple. You know, long legs, a perfect smile, hair that always looks like it's been perfectly tousled by a magazine cover photo shoot. And then there's Daphne. You know who I'm talking about. The purple scarf, that walk that makes you wonder, does she practice that? Or is it just a gift from above? And her hair, God, her hair. It always looks like she just stepped off a runway, even if we've just crawled out of a dusty basement full of ghosts and cobwebs. But then there's Velma. Velma. She's of course not Daphne. She doesn't have those long legs, and her orange sweater is, let's say, not what you'd call a fashion trend. But damn it, there's something about her. Something special. She's like that cozy blanket you wrap yourself in on a cold evening. You know, if that blanket could also explain the theory of relativity to you while you're sipping hot cocoa. One day, I decided to figure out who's hotter. You know, just to see which side I'm on. And you know what I realized? It's impossible. Because Daphne is like a perfect sunset. You look at her and think, wow, how is this even possible? And Velma is like morning coffee. You don't even notice how she becomes a part of your life. But without her, everything feels off. And yes, I know I sound like someone who thinks about this way too much. But damn it, it's important. Because on one hand, you've got Daphne, who can make you feel like a loser with just one look. And on the other, Velma, who can solve any mystery, even if it's the mystery of your heart. So here I am, sitting there looking at them and thinking, how am I supposed to choose? Daphne is, of course, the gold standard. But Velma is like that rare find at a thrift store that you realize is your new favorite thing. So if you ask me who's hotter, I'll just say, it depends on whether you prefer sunsets or coffee. And if you say that's a stupid answer, I'll just shrug and walk away. Because honestly, I've already spent way too much time thinking about this. And maybe I just need to stop staring at them so much. Although, that's going to be hard. Marry Daphne or Velma. You know, it's like choosing between a luxury sports car and a cozy mobile home. Both options are great, but each in its own way. Let's think about it with a bit of humor and imagine what kind of wives they'd be. Daphne, dream wife or disaster wife? If I married Daphne, my life would turn into an endless fashion show. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and she's already standing in front of the mirror choosing between 300 shades of lipstick. Honey, do you think this scarf matches my new shoes? She asks. And you, of course, reply, yeah, sure, dear, because you have no idea what she's even talking about. But with her, life would never be boring. She'd turn our lives into one big adventure. Though sometimes those adventures would end with us running away from yet another ghost or villain. But hey, that's kind of romantic too, right? There's just one catch, her shopping habits. I'd probably go broke buying her outfits. But then again, who said being Daphne's husband would be cheap? At least I'd always be the most stylish husband in the neighborhood. Velma, genius wife or mystery wife. Now Velma, marrying Velma would be like getting an encyclopedia that also knows how to cook. She wouldn't spend our money on scarves, but our house would probably turn into a full-blown laboratory. Honey, I made a few improvements to the toaster, she'd say. And you'd look at the toaster and realize it can now probably launch satellites. Life with her would be cozy. She'd always know how to fix a leaky faucet, explain the theory of relativity, and find a way out of any situation. But, you know, there's one little thing, her love for mysteries. Honey, I left you a quest to find your anniversary gift, she'd say. And an hour later, you'd find yourself stuck in the basement, trying to decipher her clues. But with her, life would never be dull. Well, unless you consider solving crossword puzzles at 3 a.m. a form of entertainment. So, who's better? So who'd make a better wife? Daphne is style, grace, and endless adventures. Velma is brains, coziness, and eternal mysteries. If I married Daphne, my life would be like a movie, glamorous, exciting, but sometimes a bit too much drama. With Velma, life would be like a book, smart, intriguing, but sometimes with too much fine print. And you know what's the funniest part? I'd probably choose both, because honestly, I can't decide. But most likely, they'd decide for me. You know, like they always do. But if we're being serious, I'd probably just stay friends with both, because being Daphne's or Velma's husband is way too much responsibility. And honestly, I'm not sure I'm ready for my life to turn into a never-ending quest. But if you ask me who'd handle the role of a wife better, I'd just say, ask Fred. He's probably the only one who could handle this choice, and even he'd likely run at the first opportunity. And you know what the best part is? If I actually decide to marry one of them, whether it's Daphne with her endless style or Velma with her brains and mysteries, I'll definitely invite everyone who liked this video to the wedding. You know, so there's someone to appreciate my choice and possibly save me if I suddenly change my mind at the altar. So, if you want to be part of the most epic event of the year, or maybe the weirdest, considering we're talking about Daphne and Velma, hit that like button and keep your suits and dresses ready. Thanks for watching, and may style and intellect be with you.